I was born ready. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another spooky time spent with silly sluts and who have slimy sing-songy voices. Uncle Gary got slapped in the face with a slab of salmon while sliding down a side street on a sled episode of The Days Grim. My name is Brian Michael Day.
My name is Thomas Grimm.
Who's joining us today?
Joining us in the studio, back from what Brian assumed was the grave, Drew Head. Drew, the producer.
Yeah.
Big
What's
Daddy D-Roo. What's up, man?
Not shit. Sweating my ass off wearing a sweatshirt underneath this lab coat.
Happy Halloween, you fucking...
Yeah. Can you say that many times in a nun outfit? Is your cross the right way?
Yeah, dude, it's actually...
He's going to take that off. There's going to be a
Do it.
cross burned onto his chest.
I meant to do it upside down, but we couldn't figure out how to... Drew's not very good at tying knots, so... No, I'm just kidding. He actually fixed my necklace for me, so... yeah, Drew, welcome back, dude. We haven't seen you in like 100 days.
In a raccoon's lifetime.
Yeah. You gotta watch how you say that one. Apparently, it's frowned upon. You know about that, yeah?
Yeah. I remember.
Never forget.
9/11. But yeah, man, happy Halloween, everybody. If you're watching this, hope you're enjoying. I think I win best dressed tonight, clearly, but I hope you're enjoying our ridiculous outfits. What are you, gentlemen?
Yeah, I'm just a person, man.
I'm the guy that does prostate exams. I'm not a doctor. I just do them.
Right, like at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, wherever.
Like a freelancer.
Yeah. Freelance prostate exams.
And I am a loud nun pussy. So welcome to the Days Grim, dudes, and everyone viewing and listening. Welcome. Happy Halloween. So, Drew, what we're going to do today, you've been on many a time. You helped run the show for many months, over a year, I think, right? I think it was over a year.
Like a year and 2 months or some shit.
Yeah, you got really good at it. And then now we got fucking Tom at the helm. So it's just been a nightmare, as you can imagine. No, it's going.
It normally isn't as rough as it was. That's what's funny.
But no, man, welcome back. We want to catch up on what you've been doing since like post grad life. You know what I mean? You're in medical school with the whole prostate thing now, apparently, right?
Well, they kicked me out, but
for the
freelance prostate exams, yeah.
He's still studying, just not in school anymore.
Yeah, again, freelancing. It's more of a recreational thing, I would assume. So
Yeah.
No, but really though, I guess in like okay, and if folks are watching or listening and they don't know who you are, Drew, just give them a brief synopsis of who Drew Head is, even though they should probably know who you are at this point.
So I am 12 years old.
Hell of a mustache.
I ran the computer and shit. I was the producer for The Days Grim for a little over a year. And then I graduated college and said, fuck you guys. And I left, and I am a kitchen manager at Copper House on Franklin Street. And I do photography and video
stuff, dude. And we were just talking about, you've got a lot of projects that you've done, one of which recently I do want to talk about, and the individual that was involved. However, I think it's meat and potatoes time. You want? Who was that? Was that you or Drew?
I think that was the demon you were casting out.
Shun the demons. This week's Death of the Week brought to you by WSAW.com or WSAW.com, however you want to interpret that. Here we go. Athens man charged with homicide after woman dies in meth lab explosion. Now, this guy does look like a real winner if you're watching the on screen on YouTube. He does look like he gambles and drinks way too much. This was published June 20th, 2023 at 4:01 p.m. Central Daylight. All right, here we go. Taylor County, Wisconsin. A 50-year-old Athens man has been formally charged for his role in operating a meth lab that resulted in a woman's death. Matthew Zarins appeared in Taylor County Circuit Court on Tuesday. He's charged with homicide by negligent use of dangerous weapon and 4 other charges related to manufacturing meth. Age 51 of Stanley died January 12 at a Madison hospital due to the injuries she suffered. Authorities had learned Johnson suffered burns to 85% of her body. Zarins was also treated for burns. The fire was reported on January 11 at a property on Clark Drive in the town of Maplehurst. Prosecutors filed charges against Zarins in May. According to the criminal complaint, authorities found many items consistent with manufacturing of methamphetamine in and outside the property. During an interview with investigators, Zarins said he was trying to start a fire with wet wood, and they escaped out a window. Woof. Oh, Christ. According to the court documents, special investigators tested a plastic bottle and hose laying outside on the ground. The hose tested positive for hydrochloric acid, which is a necessary ingredient during the manufacturing of methamphetamine gassing process. Hydrochloric acid is used in the gas generator. We're getting awfully specific.
Yeah,
I'm gonna lean on the scientists in the room here in a minute. The criminal complaint says in an interview, Zarins denied knowing anything or being involved in the manufacturing of methamphetamine. Zarin admitted to smoking methamphetamine 5 days prior to when he was asked by authorities. He remains in custody on a $40,000 cash bond. He's scheduled to learn July 6th if there is enough evidence for his case to head to trial. Again, 2023. So this man is probably in prison. Okay, scientists in the room. Gassing process for methamphetamines, go.
The article is very, it's like, this guy was charged with this, and then also, here's how you make meth. And
they get awfully specific.
It's like that one paragraph. It's like, so you'll need to get some hydrochloric acid and a hose.
You'll need some toilet bowl cleaner.
This just in. Meth is a hell of a drug.
God damn it. Did you hear that noise?
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
Can you give me a little volume on that and hit him with it again? This is a new thing we're doing. This just in, Mr. Zarins is guilty as fuck.
Like it.
Yeah, it's hot. It's like a hot take. It's like a news press, like da-da-da-da-da-da. This just in. Yeah, dude, so my thoughts on this are methamphetamines are bad.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
Your thoughts?
My thoughts is whoever wrote this article works for investigators or something. You know, they're just trying to slip it in there. You know, it's like those hidden secret messages, and it's literally the code right there on how to do it. But like they're dumb, so it's blatantly out in the obvious. You know?
Yeah, it's like, here's how you make meth. Also, some poor bastard just died. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think for him to decline that he even knew that they were making amphetamines is...
But yet admit that he smoked amphetamines like 5 days prior.
That's a wild fucking card to play.
I'm also like... So the lady was clearly hanging out in the house. Like she knew
meth.
about the meth.
She's doing the meth, probably.
Maybe... I don't want to victim blame, but...
We don't want to say it was her fault, but...
You're hanging out in a meth house.
Maybe don't fucking kick it in fucking a meth lab situation. I don't know, dude. This is the best you fucking chose. You fucking take me back to my childhood days living in Mount Vernon. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
It's Halloween.
You know I'm sensitive about that.
Speaking of Mount Vernon and court cases.
Tell me you got something good, Daddy.
I
got
got
something
fucking
good?
arrested the other day.
What the fuck? In Posey County?
Yeah. Well, I got pulled over. I was driving my girlfriend home from a Halloween party at our friend's house, and I got pulled over, and I was like, "Oh, it'll be fine. I wasn't even speeding or anything."
Yeah.
And then
they found the
asked
methamphetamines.
No, he asked for my license, and he's like standing there talking on his radio, and then he makes me get out of the car, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" Then he just puts handcuffs on me before he
What the
even like
fuck?
tells me anything. Apparently, my license was suspended. I had no fucking idea.
What?
I have since learned that it was because the last time I had gotten pulled over, they didn't ask me for my insurance. So then the BMV sent me a letter asking for proof of insurance. I don't know what happened to it.
Did
I
not
never saw
oblige.
it. So then they suspended my license. I have bought a car since that happened. And like I went to the BMV and registered it, and they didn't fucking tell me. Like what?
And you have to have insurance
So-
when you register the car.
It's
So
like I have had insurance. It
Right.
was just that they didn't have like proof
For that
my
occurrence.
yeah, exactly.
What the fuck,
like,
dude?
They did
you go to jail?
Yeah, I sat in jail for like 2 hours, like handcuffs, mugshot, fingerprints, everything.
Can we look you up?
I have yet to find
Posey
my fucking
County,
mugshot.
look it up. Can we see Drew's
Posey
mugshot?
County doesn't have a recent bookings.
Yes, they fucking do.
They
don't.
do on. It's like there's an app that you can
Oh.
use, but I have looked on there, and I think
You're not
that
populating.
since I was out before like their like business hours started the next day, they just didn't bother posting it.
Damn.
So, which I mean, I guess is good. There's like not a record of my mugshot, but now
Poor
there is.
Drew the outlaw, dude.
It
Look
was
at
fucking
you.
stupid.
You should have been a cowboy for Halloween. The
Dude,
outlaw.
Okay, so before it's so funny that circumstances worked out this way.
Oh, are you gonna tell him about the movie?
Yeah, so
Yes.
like this morning I edit a pod, get it exported, chilling now, like already cleaned up around the house, and I put on a documentary because I'm at home alone. That's why I get to like actually watch the documentaries. And I searched documentaries, and Blackfish was recommended.
I have seen Blackfish at least 5 times.
I watched it. It was pretty good.
And we have had the conversation about how fucking wild of a name for that movie that is, right? Like
Yeah.
awfully close to
Yeah.
blackface, and also to distinguish a fish by its color.
Which is weird because killer whales are black and white.
awfully insensitive, if you're asking me. I'm not blowing the woke whistle yet, but I'm just saying maybe blackfish isn't the move. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
All right, dude. That's this
And then
week's-
after that, I watched some Indian Lands documentary
Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
talking about cowboys and Indians.
Wild card, back to the outlaw thing. So, Drew, congratulations on being arrested for the first time, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude. So, welcome to the club. Welcome to the
You've
club.
been arrested?
Yeah, for sure. Have you been arrested? No, dude.
That's shocking.
No.
Yeah, the
When,
one.
get on that.
the
Work on
one,
that.
the one of us that should be arrested has never been arrested. Yeah, seriously, tighten the fuck up, Tom. Yeah, dude. So that's this week's Death of the Week. All right, now we're gonna get to the interview. Here we go. Drew, where the fuck have you been for 100 days? I feel like 100 days was about the time you came on the podcast last. I don't know. I'm guessing at this point. Tom,
That sounds.
do you have a recollection? 180
don't.
days, somewhere between
It
100
was the beginning of June. That's all I know.
of this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been like 100 days. I'm pretty damn spot on
Cool.
at guessing, dude. So we haven't seen you in about 100 days, man. What's new? What's happening post grad life, dude? I know we probably talked about it a little bit then. But
Well, you
like,
weren't the manager before, so you got a promotion.
Yeah.
you
So
got
I'm
the promotion.
I'm a kitchen manager at Copper House. So I'm there a lot. And
Well, let's start there. Let's just kind of expand on that, dude. What is different about like just being in the trenches and now you're the fucking King Dick, you know?
Well, there's a couple of kitchen managers, but there's not a whole lot that's different. I still have to do a bunch of shit, but like now I get paid a little more, and
Nice.
I have like access to some stuff in the POS. Like I can, it's
Swipe
Nah,
shit. You can
yeah.
fucking make a Sammy and fucking.
yeah. But now
Fucking
I can
sling
tell
it.
people what to do, be a dick.
Oh yeah,
Is it
dude.
be a dick?
Hell yeah, dude. Welcome to the team, bro. Welcome to the team.
No,
nice, man. That's fucking. I'm pumped for
It's
you.
kind of a weird thing because like I'm friends with the people that I work with.
Yeah.
And I like started as this, like we have the same job. We're at the same level.
Yeah.
And then now I'm their manager.
You're King Dick.
And
again.
so it's kind of weird when I'm like, hey, what the fuck are you doing?
All right.
Can you do your job? And then it gets they're kind of shitty sometimes.
You're still
That's okay.
You're still dating the same young lady, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bev
So
Rowley.
okay. Next question is going to upset her a little bit. Who did you have to sleep with to get this position? I want to know. Just tell me. Just come out and say it. Just come out and say it.
I don't think they'd like if I answered that.
What was his name? No, I'm joking. Dude, no, I'm fucking pumped for you though. It just shows that like how good of a person you really, really are. You do take everything that you do pretty serious, and that is something that Tom could learn from you.
Well, that is like one of the other kitchen managers. Well, not anymore. Fuck you, Trevor. He just left.
Eat dicks, bro. Also,
like,
Trevor.
he was like the main kitchen manager because he's like been doing it for the longest.
Yeah.
But now it's just me and this girl Henley.
Okay.
And like
It's a
I
dope
feel like
name. Dope name, by the way.
Right?
Henley.
We love Henley. But Trevor, who just quit, he was like, I feel like he was qualified to be manager because he had been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like I'm in that position because I care about it.
Yeah.
Like I'm very
You
interested
enjoy what
in
you
like
do.
cooking it. Yeah. And like, not to say that he doesn't care about it, but I feel like I give more of a shit than he did.
Yeah, dude. And that
And not even in like a bad way. It's just like
you're like I don't know that I would
it's
go as
something
far as
that I'm like passionate about. That sounds douchey, but
yeah, okay, bro. Like, I'm so passionate. No, no, like, and I hesitate to say that you're an empath, but I don't know the right word that I'm looking for when it comes to your work, though. You can just tell that you genuinely, if you're working on something, you're not like half-assing this thing you're doing. So, like, I commend you for that.
I just want to plug our Blue Chew promo. Use promo code DaysGrim for when you're getting that whole ass.
Yeah,
Blue Chew.
Manifesto.
don't half dick anything. Whole dick it.
Blue Chew.
Dude, if we picked up a Blue Chew sponsor, that would be a fucking easy sell right there. Easy sell. What? Don't
Wait, well, you only got to make one dick reference an episode? Easy.
easy, dude. Too easy. So other than like the POS stuff, has anything else changed, or
I mean,
are your relationships changing with those friends?
well, not
Well, that's one thing that you could
not
talk
really.
about.
It's-
Difference between like, so I feel like there's two different manager approaches where you can either be friends with everybody or like you can be friends with nobody.
Yeah.
yeah.
And Brian's the friends with nobody. I'm here to tell you to get shit done and go home.
What do you think?
Like,
How do you approach it?
I was already friends with people, and I'm obviously still friends with them, but it's kind of a weird line where like now it is my job to kind of tell you what to do, and if you're doing something you shouldn't be doing, then I am supposed to say something.
Yeah.
But I'm still kind of figuring out how to do that.
How long have you been in this role? No.
Well, there was a little bit where I was like half manager because like it was just if Trevor or Henley wasn't, like, if the other two managers weren't there, then I would clock in as manager.
Yeah.
But if they were there, then I wasn't.
Okay.
But now I'm just a manager. So it's like I'm still kind of figuring out how to ask people or like tell people to do things or like give constructive criticism without sounding like a dick and also without being a pushover.
Biggest tip I've learned.
Blue Chew.
Yeah, just walk around with a raging erection anytime you talk to people. No, the biggest tip that I have for that I've learned in my short span of managerial experience, when you got to break somebody down, don't go easy on them. Break them down. But find a positive to hit them with. Either you can do it before or after. It doesn't matter so long as you give them that positive.
Yeah.
Hey, man, loved how you did that arrangement today. That looked fucking killer. Also, do you have a second? You know, like, by the way, I noticed that you were fucking jerking off in the women's bathroom or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, man, I loved the arrangement, but also
Yeah,
don't do that.
Half the time, if I like have to talk to someone about something, I'm like, hey, just by the way, it's not the end of the world, but like for future reference, I'm like, I just need to like say it, because if I do that, they're not going to listen to me.
You sound soft. You got to be firm. That's the real bummer to like having to manage a crew or a team, or it's a real unfortunate thing. But you got to think about it. Who are you most likely to listen to? Like, put yourself in their shoes. Somebody that's like, hey, man, like, I don't want to make a big deal out of it, but no, you're going to listen to the guy and be like, hey, man, you were supposed to do A, B, C. You did it D, E, F, G. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And just cut to the root cause.
But, like, this is, like, my favorite job that I've ever had. Like, it's a great place to work. And the owner, like, gives us creative freedom, kind of like with things that we want to do. Like, I do a lot of cheesecakes, or like if I want to come up with a special, she just kind of lets me.
Hell yeah.
And obviously, like, you kind of have to build that trust. She's not just gonna like hire some dude off the street and be like, all right, do this. It's like, I've worked there for a couple years. So
he's been doing amphetamines for a couple of years. You know what I mean? So there's a difference. No, so that was gonna be my follow-up. So you like the job?
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's going pretty good?
Yeah.
Nice, dude.
And then camera-wise, have you changed anything, like, editing-wise, like editing programs?
I've started using DaVinci a little bit, because I used to use Final Cut, and then I started using Adobe.
Yeah.
And I still have Adobe, but I am kind of playing around with DaVinci Resolve, at least for like color grading stuff, which I suck at color grading. I need to like.
Don't ask me. I'm not great at it.
I think you do a great job. I'll have you know.
I don't know. Depends.
I'm just joking. I don't know what color grading is, but all your guys.
Also, like, what's crazy about color grading is like it also depends on everything that you're like. No color grade's the same. But think about a filter, essentially.
Yeah, I know that's kind of what it is.
So like no filter's the same. So like a wedding video, they want bright and like you want it to be dreamy. So like you can kind of overexpose a little bit and like
let light spill in.
Right, but like it just depends on what you're doing.
Yeah, and I mean I can do color grading. It's just not where I'm like, it's not my strongest suit.
I got you. What is your strongest? If you had to pick a thing that you're like your favorite thing about photography that you're super anal about, like,
or videography.
Well, I can edit a photo and like do the color on that, no problem. The color grading for video is where I don't have a whole lot of experience, but
and like, it kind of looks the same, but it's not the same.
But then like if the light changes in a shot, and it's like you go from one room to another, or like something happens in the background, and now you have to like edit, or you have to color grade the first half of this clip one way, and then the second half, like it's just, it gets kind of weird.
And then also like if you adjust your camera settings, like say we record in this room and the blinds open and 2-3 hours have passed, and we record another scene, that lighting's completely different.
And you have to try to make it look the same.
You know, speaking of color grading, and I harp on this movie all the time, only because the third one just came out. I don't remember. Are you a horror fan?
Yeah.
You are? Did you see Terrifier 3 yet?
Not.
So fucking... Have you seen the other two, though?
I don't think so.
You gotta watch them. Anyways, from Damien Leone's first Terrifier, just look up Terrifier 1, just Terrifier. The way that he color grades all his films... Now, find a screenshot. See if we can find a screen grab of just part of the film. And you don't have to play any sound. Just let this play. The way he color grades this to make it look... This was shot in 2017, but it's like... I don't know the word for it, but the dark is dark. And like the colors are very color. Like he just has like a way of almost making
like it... very high contrast.
Yeah, high contrast. And it's like, it almost gives you like a sense of nostalgia. Like if I told you this movie was made in the 90s or the early 2000s, you might believe me.
It looks like it came out in 2005.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way.
But this was a 2016 film. Yeah. So phenomenal. And he made it with like $30,000. You can tell. The very small cast. But yeah, phenomenal film, phenomenal franchise. But his color grading, I guess, is what you would call that, is phenomenal, and it's seamless from scene to scene, from room to room, like you guys were just talking about. So great. Hats off to Damien Leone. He's a phenomenal director. But like, okay, speaking of,
Well, I was gonna say, so the editing program's still the same. You're still using a Blackmagic?
Yeah, for most of my video stuff, I shoot on Blackmagic. I sometimes will use my Canon RP for video, but most of the time I just use it for photo.
Do you have one of those like hand mounts? What are they called that like go on both sides? You know, it's like
I don't have
the cage.
I know what you are
like
talking
a
about.
cage,
I have
essentially.
like a little cage thing, but it just has a handle on the top.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those are sick though. Are they gyroscopic? Like, do they have a balancing system inside of it?
I think they
do you have
probably make
Obis?
some. What?
Obis is what it's called. The onboard in-camera stabilization.
I have no idea.
Oh, where like it's like an auto stabilizer, like your iPhone has. Does your camera have that?
I would assume that there's probably some sort of like internal stabilization.
Right.
I just don't know.
And is Blackmagic the name of the camera you're using?
Yeah, it's the brand of the camera.
Oh, why have I never heard of that?
You've heard about it so many times.
I have.
Yeah, that's what Zito uses. That's what Drew's used. That's what Thomas Bernardin's used one from time to time.
So that would be like a Canon, like
Blackmagic is only for videography.
Oh, okay.
They're like cinema cameras.
Oh, damn.
They're like what, $2,000 to $4,000?
I got the Pocket Cinema 4K, so I think it was about 2,000.
Let me
I feel like
see
it was
one
like
of these
1,800 or
guys.
something.
Let me see one of these.
Essentially.
Yeah, that's the fancy shit. I don't have that.
Wild. Oh,
Mine
now we're
looks like that. One.
This?
Yeah.
Oh.
But like this is what I was thinking.
That's what we need for the podcast.
Those things, like,
Dude, if we got one of those, I'd come every day.
Ugh, I'd come right now.
Like, here's a cheaper, older.
Also, can we acknowledge the fact that we're also finding a lot of Blackmagic spiritual
Yeah, you have to
texts?
sacrifice a baby, a virgin, before you turn on the camera.
Mm-hmm.
But
you have to have a sacrificial
nobody's
lamb.
keeping babies nowadays, so you're...
You know, and shout out to Brie Gibson, who also kills her babies. Isn't that what she... What was it?
Yeah,
Did you see
used her
Bree's
phrase
interview?
Inappropriately.
She caught me so off guard with this, dude. We were in mid conversation. We were talking about her recording. She's a solo comedian, sketch artist, so she just does like reels and stuff for herself. She's wildly successful at it. But anyway, she was talking about like when I record something, you know, I'll like something a little much. I get a little attached to it, and then that's whenever. And I was kind of like, I was in the conversation, but then she said, "Yeah, and then kill your babies." And then I was and then I literally I derailed the entire.
She was talking
conversation.
about how she passes it off to her boyfriend who does video and like lets him make
Jake.
the final tweaks. Yeah, Jake, and he gets to make the cuts. Her fiance, my bad. Let me rewind that.
Yeah, they are engaged.
And when he makes a cut, she's like, you know, sometimes you just got to kill your babies and go with what, you know, somebody else says.
Yeah, and I didn't take that well. I was fucking caught me way off. I've never heard that before. Have you? You got to kill your babies?
Maybe not that exact wording, but like the concept, yeah.
So she said it.
Could you imagine if Jesus talked in only dark metaphors like that? Like dark parables?
Yeah. Kill your darlings. That's where she said it came from, was like kill your darlings.
Yeah.
So if you get too attached to something, you got
Any new camera lenses?
No.
Spicy tech, no?
No, I've not bought any new lenses recently.
How often do you switch between your two Instagram feeds?
I kind of only switch over to the Drewhead Media when I get a notification or when I want to post.
Really? So you're not like checking out to see if that algorithm's different?
Not very often, no. I probably should, but I don't.
I just didn't know if like one showed only photography based stuff and the other showed
like the stuff I get recommended to me is very different on each account.
Yeah. So like before I guess we go into this, you actually just had a bunch of work that you were like a cast hand on.
Yeah,
that
there was
made it to the short film thing.
There was a couple things that I had worked on that were in the Victory International Film Fest.
Oh, which ones?
So I worked on Ryan McCurdy's Pears.
Oh, so great.
Yeah.
Paul was in that. Yeah, he's told me I need to see it, man.
Did you see Brian at that after party?
No, I didn't make it. I was working that night.
Over at Arcademy.
Yeah. So I worked on that, and then Thomas's Factors was in it this year. I'd worked on one called Me and My Shadow.
Okay.
That was...
What's that about?
So it's about this girl who gets cast in a production of some Shakespeare play.
Okay.
And she gets cast in Hamlet, and she decides that she's gonna method act and
get too deep into it.
she's won't break character. Like she's at work and shit. Like talking in like Shakespearean
Old English.
Yeah. So that was really fun to shoot. We shot that like 2 years ago around this time.
Ooh.
And but that was a few people from where I used to live, Jasper.
Yeah.
They had reached out to me and asked if I wanted to like help out, and so I drove up there for a weekend and we shot, and
they entered
really
in that film festival too.
Yeah. They've entered it in a couple film festivals. I can't remember which ones, but they also did this really cool thing where they had like a screening at the Astra Theater in Jasper.
Oh yeah, great venue.
And then they also turned that into like a student film festival, so like high school students could submit their work.
Oh shit!
And yeah, it was really cool.
That's tight, dude. And also the Astra is just like, I mean, there's two things that Jasper does well. Build a fucking transmission, and that fucking Astra Theater is just fucking beautiful, dude. I've seen a lot of shots of it. I need to go like see a show there.
You've never been there?
No, I've only seen like the footage from like when the Strangers played there.
Yeah.
And I've seen a bunch of stills from artists that have like
it's a really cool
it looks
venue.
beautiful. But yeah, they also do build a hell of a transmission too.
Yeah. You heard of the Great Wave?
Yeah.
When I was in Kansas City, they had it as like an exhibit that was there from Boston. Like I got to go through and see like all of
the original painting.
Yeah, the original painting, and then like a bunch of other work and like some of his notebooks, and then work that like his teachers did. But then also,
can you fill me in? What the fuck are we talking about?
The Great
I
Wave.
sent you photos of it.
You don't. Wow, fucking uncultured Brian over there doesn't know.
Listen, I am so pro. You know, Bree Gibson will tell you I'm an ally. Okay,
my parents have that.
Oh yeah, we talked about this
in our living room.
Yeah, we talked about this. Yeah. I remember this. Yeah, I forget that's called the.
But I was gonna say, like, do you see any new video trends or like photo trends, and you're like, oh, I gotta hop on that, or that like motivates you to like go shoot something?
Are there any trends like that right now?
There's always a trend like that. Like there used to be a photograph trend of like people photoshopping an airplane in. Like it was like a weird trend that people were doing.
Oh.
I see stuff all the time that I'm like, oh, I want to do something like that. Like one of my friends, Ethan Douglas, he has a very specific style that he photographs. And here, if you want to look him up on Instagram.
Ethan Styles.
Ethan Douglas.
Oh, I thought you said... oh, no, you said Ethan Douglas has a style. Never mind, I'm tripping.
Yes, the second one.
Hell of a mustache on that guy too.
But he has this very specific style of like overexposed. A lot of it has been graphic design stuff recently, but like his photography, I just love that like super bright, overexposed, like very obviously flash photography. So I've been doing some stuff like that. Like I love that photo of Zesto.
Yeah, that's tight, dude.
But dude is so talented. I love Ethan.
Hell yeah. Is he from around here?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
The dude thrown up in the...
I know. But I had sent you guys his Instagram a while ago because he was having that art show, Baggy Jeans.
Yeah, we're following him. I guess we...
But him and Christian Schmitz just did their second year of that art show that they put on, and I bought one of Christian's pieces.
Nice.
But
That's
Sick,
super
dude.
dope.
Oh, speaking of pieces for sale, dude. I was in the BR. That's what I like to call it. I was in the Bad Randy's. I spend way too much money there. Just so you guys know, spend way too much money there. Jeremiah's got something really great going on.
Oh yeah.
But that being said, I was there watching the Nina Snugan show. Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
I was watching her play live, and I was sitting up against the wall there, and there's like a built-in brick shelving unit there,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw one of your pieces was for sale.
Yeah, I've got a couple things for sale there.
Really?
I've not sold anything
So
yet.
do you have other pieces elsewhere though? Well, this is a common thing that like I pay attention to as a creative.
I
Like,
pointed it out to you. Fuck off.
You pointed it out to me.
Yeah, when I was there. We
You
went
did?
together that time, and I was like, look, Drew's got artwork up there for sale.
I must have not been listening to you, but I only noticed it whenever I went to Nina's show. Here nor there. Franklin Street Pizza is really good about selling art.
There's a lot of local restaurants that will put art up
I
for
wonder-
sale.
So does Penny Lane.
Yeah.
I wonder if Evansvillians are even like cognizant to this, or do they just walk past it?
I don't know about like the average Evansvillian, but like people that I'm friends with are very, because it's half the time it's their art.
Yeah,
Like,
but it's just interesting to me. Like, had I not been in the podcast world and not introduced to this like artist realm, I would have noticed them, but not noticed, I guess, that they were for sale.
and that it's like made by people who live here.
Yeah, that are from here
Yeah.
most of the times. You know what I mean? But it's just a really neat way that, like, I love that Jeremiah and Franklin Street Pizza, and I'm trying Penny Lane, who else? But whoever else is putting stuff up, like, it's a cool way to, like, help sustain a creative environment in the Evansville area.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like
so
an up-and-coming art scene. Like
yeah,
it's
so
been
if you
for
don't know
years.
how to support people like our man D-Roo over here, he's got art hanging up.
Yeah, I've got like 3 or 4 pieces at Bad Randy's.
Mhm.
I think it's the one that I am like really stoked on. I am just waiting for someone to fucking buy it because I love it so much. Is I don't know if you saw it, but I made like a mixed media collage on a skateboard deck. And it's similar to that. It's not that exact one. I made another one to put
but
in
it's
Bad
a
Randy's.
physical skateboard deck.
Yeah, it's most of those same pictures, and it's I just like cut them out and pasted them onto a skateboard deck. And I want to do more shit like that.
And then you fucking cracked it over a homeless guy's head. Nice, dude. Very classic Drew move.
And then I've got a couple other photos hanging in there.
Which,
Some of the stuff.
by the
like,
way,
do you go to art museums when you go out of town?
Sometimes I think the last one I went to was probably 21C in Cincinnati.
oh, nice, dude. And
I went to the something Nelson Art Museum in Kansas City.
Well, actually, I lied.
great plug for something Johnny Apple seed.
But it is cool because like some of the art, like some artwork, like you wouldn't think like so there was like a cube and one side was like painted a fluorescent orange and it was put all over the wall with spacing and stuff, and so like different times of the day it would like shine different ways or whatever. It was cool.
I lied a minute ago. The last art like installation, I guess it's not a museum, but this past weekend I was in New Harmony because there was a like photography expo kind of it's called SPE. It's something for photographic educators.
Okay.
So I went with my old photo professor from USI and a bunch of students from USI, and they like had like galleries of student work in New Harmony, and they did a bunch of like lighting demos, and they did like a giveaway for different photography gear. It was
sick, dude.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, and I'm assuming you can like buy gear and stuff there. Like it's just like a big thing.
I don't know
Were
if
there
they
like
have
tents and stuff set up where you could like meet with other people or something like that? That's what I think
don't know
of when
that
I
they
think
had
of, like,
that,
expo.
but like it wasn't like an expo, but there was like representatives from. There was like someone from Sony, someone
Oh,
from
shit, okay.
Westcott, and like
nice. And
So
so,
nobody from Fuji.
I don't think there was anyone.
Nobody can afford that shit, dude.
I was gonna say, I feel like a lot of people, like public people, that follow Instagram pages because they see a pretty picture or whatever, and they follow a page because they like the photos or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people don't realize that, like, if you really like that photo, like, you could reach out to that person and like most likely order a print.
Yeah.
I will sell you my fucking photos for sure.
Right. Like, all it takes is a message of, hey, I really like this photo and I want to hang it, or like, can I see what the print prices are?
Just don't fucking screenshot it and print it yourself. That'll piss me off.
Yeah, and then you're gonna lose so much like quality there too.
Anytime that I send, like, if I do a shoot for someone, whether it's like engagement, senior photos, whatever, I will send people I'll either send them like a Lightroom catalog, or I'll like put it in Google Photos and send them an album. And I'm like, you can download it from here. I have the settings turned on to where you can download it. Just do not fucking screenshot it, please. Oh my God.
For the love of Christ and all that is holy, don't screenshot it.
Because if you screenshot it and crop it and put a fucking Instagram filter on it, that's going to piss me off.
Drew's like, I will hang myself tonight.
It will happen.
No, so how does it work when somebody wants to like approach you for like a video or whatever? Like Nina, like who Brian was talking about, foreshadowing that we saw earlier, you filmed a music video for her. So actually I am the one that asked Nina if I could make this video, because she's like my sister's best friend, so I knew her. And she put out Big Brown River, and I really love the song. So I messaged her and asked if she would want a music video for it. And so we made a music video for it.
Yeah, it's a bop, dude. And again, shout out to Bad Randy's for having her come and play. I think she did a 45-minute spot. Yeah, she filled a big spot.
I love that Jeremiah's doing that, like having local music artists play. That's something that Evansville, I've definitely seen it grow in the past couple of years, but Evansville has so many talented musicians, and there's just like not very many venues for them to play at.
Yeah, and Nina is this wild. For those of you who don't take the time to like look her up and listen to her music, which you should, she is this wild. I don't know how you would describe her music, like bluegrass vigilante, it's like badass
folk.
Yeah, folk, but vigilante. She has like this
kind of a
like outlaw feel to her.
Yeah, like Woody Guthrie, like.
Yeah. She's like, I'll ride into town on my horse, but also fuck the government, like kind of vibe. And I fuck with it pretty hard. I like that. Her shit live was.
I do. A few seconds.
World taught to ignore, they killed Mauricio on his goddamn kitchen floor.
Yeah, so that's kind of her sound. A little snippet. We might get in trouble if we play more than that. So
I doubt that her music is like copyright. Like she's not going through
like an agency or something.
So
really
I believe she like records everything herself and like releases it herself. She has most of her music is on Bandcamp because that's how she makes money from it.
What is Bandcamp? Can you describe that to the listener?
One time at Bandcamp?
Are there flutes involved?
It's like a website where people can release their own music, and that's a way for them to make more money off of it than they would on Spotify or anything, because artists on Spotify don't make shit off.
You make a tenth of a penny per play or something crazy like that.
And so Bandcamp is kind of more like for the artists, like smaller artists will release stuff on there. And
I like this.
Yeah, it's
you might have just flipped me onto something new. Okay,
but yeah, I would definitely look Nina up.
And that's just bandcamp.com. Bandcamp.com, bandcamp.com. I'll have to check that out, dude. That's interesting. Can you bookmark that or just leave that tab open? I want to check that out later. But yeah, dude, so you shot a music video for her.
So like, was this like, so interesting? I've done a few
wanted
music.
to shoot it. You approached her.
Yeah.
I feel like when you're getting into video stuff that you've never done before, it kind of goes that way in the video world.
Had you
Like
never done a
in the
music video
creative
before?
world.
I mean, I've like done music videos before, but it was like for a class project or something that I just wanted to do on my own. And I like filmed it myself, and it's not like an original music video for a smaller artist.
Okay.
I've done. Fuck, have I done any other music video? I don't know.
It's like, of course I've done music videos. I don't know.
So like what's so like I would say
I did one for Swamp Eyes.
Okay.
And I didn't film all of it, but I edited the music video for
nice.
Chug With You Forever for from the Chugs.
Yeah, arguably the hardest part of making a music video is the editing process. And
Yeah, I had so much fun with that one.
that's awesome.
But I was gonna say, like, I've edited a few music videos, and I don't think any of them came to light now that I think about it. But they were always like it's all a completely different ordeal. Or sometimes, like, you think that the artist has an idea, then they have no idea, and you're like wandering around with the artist or like the people that want the video, and you're trying to like have to direct it, like literally, like, oh hey, like instead of just staying here in this one location, let's go to these 5 other places.
Yeah. And I mean, Nina, it was her song, so she had a pretty good idea of what she wanted. And so we just kind of worked together and like, oh, well, this would be a good place to film, since we went to a lot of places that would be recognizable in Evansville.
Yeah. The Red
especially
Bridge.
by people
Center
the
Point,
people who
the
listen to her
courthouse.
music.
Yeah.
So we just kind of wandered around for like 4 or 5 hours and just filmed a bunch of stuff in different spots.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, it was also like, I think there was a tornado warning or
Fuck
something
yeah.
that day. So
Fuck
we were
yeah.
like, fuck, are we going to be able to do this? And then as soon as it like stopped raining, we're like, all right, we're going.
Go time. It's a question about that. Question about music videos. So, like you're saying, in the style that you shot it, just for like 4 or 5 hours, you guys kind of wandered around the city. You basically just like have her sit down in these various locations. Like she held the guitar in a lot of that music video, but like in the parts where she is sitting down playing the guitar, is she like just playing that full song for you?
Yeah, I basically in each location
Make her play
had
the
her
full song.
sit in one spot and play the full song. That way I could cut between them.
Yeah.
Because that's the picture that I had in my head, is just like
Splicing them in.
Yes.
And where she
And then
is
just
at
kind of
in the
filling it in
song
with some
here,
B-roll.
she picks up on the same part of the song, but in a new frame, right?
Yes.
Nice, dude. And you had some really good shots of her, like with the cowboy gun and the mask on. Did you have
Yeah.
a favorite shot that didn't involve her playing the song in the music video? I don't know what the technical
there's-
term is for that, but
There's one
B-roll almost.
Yeah, it would be B-roll.
you
There's
actually
one
worked in?
shot of we were down by the Ohio Street Bridge, and we were like a couple feet from the river,
Yeah.
and I was getting a shot of her just smoking, and then she bends over and picks up half a fish that I guess someone was using as bait or something. There's just half a dead fish
saw that.
laying on the ground. I think that might be my favorite shot.
That's
The most
fucking
Evansvillian thing.
That's so fucking punk rock, dude. Fuck yeah. That's fucking she's a different kind of cat, man. So my interaction with her, I gotta share this because it was so rad. She was like drinking on stage the whole time playing, and she sounded great the whole time. I don't know how drunk she was, but she sounded great the entire time. But the show comes to a conclusion. I tip her like $30 or whatever, and then we walk out the front door. I talked to Jeremiah. I was like, hey, you got to put me in touch with her. And then he walks inside. I walk inside. And then she was talking to a bunch of her friends and other people. And it seemed like she was kind of cold shouldering me and my friend. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to head out. So I like start walking to the door or whatever. And she grabs me by the shoulder and she was like, smoke? I was like, I'm sorry? She's like, you want to talk, right? I was like, yeah, dude. And she had a cigarette like hanging out of her mouth, and we went outside and talked. She was just such a wild card, like such a wild girl. Yeah, she's so fucking cool.
interesting.
Yeah, she has a very unique personality. So Nina, I expect you to come do an interview with us.
I'm gonna send her a message after this, and
we're already
be
talking
like,
to her.
what's,
We exchanged information. But
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah. But definitely message her and be like, I just did one with TDG. We talked about you. You got to
Yeah.
get in there.
So the end of October is here. We got
we made
2
it.
more months of the year.
Sober October complete.
So I'm not going to ask you what you hope to accomplish by the end of this year, but like, what are some things that you hope to achieve next year? Like, what's already going to be on your whatever the fuck they call it on New Year's
resolution.
Yeah, but like
Jesus
instead of a New Year's
Christ.
resolution, like what's going to be on your checklist to like get done that year?
Well, so I'm working on a script for a short film.
Fuck yeah.
I have like 2 scenes written right now, so it's still going to be a while
But
before
you
I
have
even
like the
get to filming.
concept in your head.
Yeah.
Okay. Fuck
And
yeah.
so I
Since I'm plugging that into ChatGPT about 10 times.
that would make it so much easier, but fuck AI.
You have so much integrity. I appreciate you for that. Golf clap.
At least when it comes to art, fuck AI.
Yeah, it's annoying, dude.
Because that you're completely getting rid of any like authenticity
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Like that's not your art at that point.
Yeah, it's bullshit. I'm trying to write a joke currently about like AI porn before you realize that it's AI porn. I haven't figured the joke out yet, but it's good.
Yeah.
I'm getting there. But anyway, so back to your film. You're hoping to have it like more better in the works or like done
So,
by next year. Like
I want
written-
to, I want to like film and like I want to have it done in time to put it into the Victory Film Fest next year.
Oh, like filmed and everything.
Yeah, and
What's that due date look like? When would you have to be done to even be able to apply for something like that?
I don't remember when the deadline is. I feel like it's like May.
Yeah,
I could-
think
I
it's
could maybe
May,
do
June.
it
I think
by
it's
then.
May, June.
I want to film like in December, January, but it really just depends where I'm at with the script.
Is the concept like season dependent? Like Tom has a story that he's working on, but like it's season dependent. Is your
Nah.
Yeah,
season?
so like if I'm not filming it next month, I'm fucked.
yeah,
It's not necessarily season
it
dependent.
doesn't have to be like
I have like an idea of it, and like I would have preferred to do it like film in the fall, but it doesn't really matter.
it's impractical.
Yeah.
You'd have to wait 2 years to make it happen.
Yeah, so like I think like it would work whenever I get around to
2
filming
years
it.
might be a good time though. If
Yeah,
you get
it
it
could be
done and then give it out to a few people and like a hush premiere
yeah,
and
I
get
could see
input and then make tweaks
yeah.
or
I could
film
see
a
that.
little extra.
Or like take whatever concept, and I don't want to give too much away. We'll talk about it after, but like pick your favorite. Here's the premise, and here's the apex of the film, and like just film that apex. Like this fall, you could do that.
Yeah.
Like write out the apex of the storyline, and just like, okay, this is going to be a 2-minute operation, start to finish.
Well, I need to do something like that as like a proof of concept thing because
Like
I
a
want to do
teaser,
some like
yeah.
crowdfunding because I have no fucking money. I want to
Yeah, you
have
just
some
got
sort of
arrested.
budget.
He just got arrested, dude. He had to post bond.
I want to have a budget so that I can pay the actors.
He
and
said,
that I
I'm not
can
on bail. I'm trying to
pay
release a film.
for fucking like a crew.
Dude, next time you go to fucking jail, you gotta let us know.
Next time,
Dude, we would have had like free Drew t-shirts made, like free little Drewski or something.
it's fucking ridiculous.
Dude, I'm telling you, we could have had you out in a snap.
Yeah, we have a whole merch lineup that just hasn't dropped. But like once it drops, there's gonna be lore from like 5 years.
Yeah. Uncle Gary's in the loop. Like, I can't wait to get an Uncle Gary tee made. Oh, fuck, dude. It's going to be so hot. But yeah, man. So, what do you think? What kind of movie? Can I ask what kind of movie it's going to be? Is it like a spooky thrill? Is it like a sad soppy? Is it a happy? Is it a comedy?
It's definitely kind of sad. It's like drama. There's some drugs.
Fuck yeah.
There's like I'm trying to think of something to even compare it to.
Tom is Googling drugs.
No, this is for after the show.
But it's basically about a heroin addict. That's
I like that.
like
I like that.
a very, very broad.
So it's an autobiography, is what
Oh,
you're
yeah.
getting at.
No,
And I'm proud of you, man. Good for you, brother.
Well, the thing is, I am gonna have one of my friends who used to do heroin help me write it, and like one of the scenes that I have written is like based off of something that happened to him, and so I want to kind of tell the story without glorifying or demonizing like drug use
unbiasedly,
but just like showing it, like this happens, this is like very
almost
real.
As like a what would you call that,
as unbiased as possible,
like a biopic.
This is how it starts, this is how it ends.
It's just like a non-biased, like observational style storytelling.
Yeah, it's not like, look at this piece of shit and he's a drug addict, or
and
like,
it's also not
look,
like
he's having so much fun, but
let's
like
do
just,
heroin.
like,
yeah, no, that's fucking. I'm into it. That's fucking rad, dude. So okay, that man, I have so many questions. I hope you make some headway on that, because I really want to get you back in next year and talk about it. That'd be fucking super hot. I don't know. Do you think you'll require? Oh, I know what else I was going to ask. But do you think you'll ask for outside help on that as far as filming goes?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna be like bothering so many people. Like, hey, can you help me with this?
Is it nice crowdfunding? Like, so like being a part of so many short films already and seeing how Factors was done and crowdfunded, and being around Jordan Barclay and them and like how they crowdfunded, does that give you insight?
I've asked them about it, and I'm gonna ask them about it again and see like what they think is the best way to go about it.
Yeah,
I've never done that.
Yeah, he definitely. We spoke about it in his interview. Actually, he has a lot of wise wisdom when it comes to what channels to use and what channels to avoid, et cetera, et cetera. He knows how to kind of work the system most beneficially for the artist, which you have to know how to do. The second question I had for you was, have you, speaking of Brie Gibson, her fiance is
Jake
getting
short film. Yeah. I was working on that the other day.
You are working on it? I was going to ask you.
When I can. I mean,
what's he asked you to help with, or what are you working on?
I was...
and I don't know that we can give away too much about it, because we're going to have him in the next few weeks to talk about the film.
I went and I ran audio one day and like helped just basically wherever I can help.
Extra hands.
And then like I don't want to give anything away, but I did some like set dressing kind of.
Okay.
I'll go into more detail after, but I don't, because I don't know what he's said.
I'm excited about it. Yeah,
so.
I'm excited. He hasn't talked about it at all, but we've talked about it.
I know what it's about.
Yeah, we know what it's about. It sounds like it's going to be really difficult to film, and he was like, "Oh no! Like if you look at it this way," and the way he explained it, I was like, "Ah."
Yeah, he's. I think he's been like had this in his back pocket for years and is
sitting on it. And
yes, I sat down and talked with him about it when I wrote my short film years ago.
Yeah,
like
and he was already on it.
And he was like, dude, I've had this idea for a hot minute, blah, blah, blah. Like, I've got like basically everything that I've done.
It's crazy that like if you don't write what you're writing right now and you just sit on this heroin, like you do your interview with the guy and you get all the deep, dark details of like, you know, someone who does heroin. And then you like write the story in your head, maybe not even physically, but if you just sit on the story long enough, and then like 3 years later, you're like, all right, I'm just going to sit down and write it. Like how quickly the story spills out of you after you sit on it for like a long time.
Yeah. And like, I'm not the greatest writer, but once I like start and have something to work off of,
to build, yeah,
it gets a lot easier.
Yeah, it just spills, dude. No, I'm excited for you. I don't know, dude. I haven't seen you in 180 days. Do you have any questions for Tom and I?
As we wrap up the show?
Yeah.
How fucking awful is it doing the show without me?
It's
Sometimes
trash.
it sucks.
Yeah, it's trash all the time. Tom gives himself more credit than he should.
Have you guys had any like super cool standout guests in the past couple months?
Dude, we've had
you were around for the first Comedy Cache.
Those are so much fun. Those are so much fun now. Like we've got one coming out after this episode. It's
2
already
weeks
recorded.
after.
Yeah, 2 weeks after. Oh my God, it's so fucking. I'll talk to you about it after. It's so fucking good.
And then we had Cole Simpson on. We built a beer pyramid. Like Brian, myself, and Cole killed like a 30 rack of bush in like an hour,
Yeah,
2 hours.
The pyramid
Oh my
was like
God.
up here, dude. It like covered the whole in canvas, the whole table. It was great. It was such a good time. Yeah, his was actually wildly interesting. I actually learned a lot about pool. Even though he didn't want to talk about playing pool, that's really the only reason I wanted to have him in. And then it just turned into this wild party pod. And like, but I learned a lot about.
And then we had fun with the party pod round 2. It was filmed in October. Brian's doing sober October. That's why he doesn't have a drink in front of him.
Yep, plenty hydrated.
And so like we invited Cole back for a party pod round 2, and then we had Cole, and then we had Paul. You remember Paul? So it was like opposites.
It was wild. It was.
Yeah, Paul does not seem like a huge party.
But he's at all the parties. Paul's everywhere.
He really
Oh, yeah.
is. He's
He
like
really is.
he's like Batman. He's fucking
That
everywhere.
is something he does so well.
He
is
markets-
putting himself out there.
He markets himself very fucking
I think
well.
if we say his name one more time, he might walk through the door.
Paul. It's like
Just
fucking
comes-
Beetlejuice.
comes out of a fucking genie's bottle, dude. I don't know, man. Shout outs to anybody that's like been helping you out lately, maybe with the short film, maybe with just filming in general, like music video, or just anybody at work that's helped you along your new path to managerial success. Though be it young, but I feel like you have a bright future.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I love everyone at work. Like, I love working at Copper House, and we're hiring if anyone wants to come work with me.
Get on in there. How do
But-
they apply, anyways?
I mean, you can just call.
Call
Come
them
in.
up, dude. Call them up. Hit them up.
But yeah, that's I lost my train of thought.
He said
But
shout out to Copper House, his girlfriend, his mom, and
yeah, Bev Radley, I love you. You're so hot.
Hell
And-
yeah.
And then there's like just so many people, like Jordan Barclay and Thomas and Shane Hazen and
Their episode
Jake,
was great too.
and like
yeah.
just people who let me fucking ask questions and let me come be on set. And my photography professor at USI has been a huge help. And like I before I took his lighting class, I had no fucking idea how to do like anything with strobes or
Nice. Neither
like-
do we. We don't know shit about them.
like I had used them a couple times, but like Rob Dickus, he's kind of a dick sometimes, but he's like a very
it comes with the name. If,
Yeah.
if Dick's
Dude.
in your name somewhere, somebody's made so many Dick references to you.
oh yeah. I
that
saw
like
someone fall on the floor laughing because he told them that his name was Rob Dickus. But then a couple other people like Zach Winger, he just put out he does this magazine. It's called Balloon, and it's just like a photography student run
Okay.
magazine.
Yeah.
And I modeled for that. So
is
he
that
just
the photo that I sent you that was all over USI from the flyers.
No, that was Candid magazine, I think, and I had modeled for that too. But
Nice,
this
dude.
is his own like independent thing. If you want to like look him up on Instagram, I think it's like Zach Winger Photo or Zach Winger Art, and I'm sure that he would love to get you a copy of his magazine.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And then Ethan Douglas, Christian Schmitz, just like so many people are just very like.
And you're going to be
Inspiring.
tapping these resources here in the next few months.
Oh yeah, I'm
I
gonna be
assume.
annoying the shit out of people asking.
Dude, and it's always nice to have a that guy. Yeah, and we have him pulled up here. Zach
Yeah.
Swinger.
So that's
Blue Moon. Or no, that's
Balloon.
Balloon, sorry.
well, he's been doing a lot of like product photography for like beer and whiskey and stuff. So that's
Nice, dude.
yeah, I love him.
Sick stash, dude. God damn.
Yeah.
You got a lot of friends with nice fucking
Right?
stashes, dude. No, but that being said, as we're coming to an end here, I just want to greatly thank you, sir, You're always Johnny on the spot. Anytime we ever need help with anything, you're always there for us, and for that, I will forever thank you. And for your time that you spent with us, you know what I mean? Greatly appreciative of that. So, yeah, it's been another thrilling episode of The Days Grim. My name is Brian Michael Day.
My name is Thomas Grimm.
And I'm Drew Head.
So nice to see you, Drewski. Later, dudes.